Okay, for this morning's breakfast, we're having a very traditional breakfast sausage and fried eggs. And I'm also cooking it in a very traditional manner on traditional cookware, cast iron skillet. Now, normally at home, I never cook on a cast iron skillet. I save these things for outdoor barbecues, camping, that sort of stuff. They're great right over the flame. You can't damage them no matter what you do. They'll last into the next century. You could give it to your grandchildren. The breakfast sausage for this morning is Johnsonville sausage. You can see those there. And they come 14 to a pack. And this pack I got on sale for a bargain price of $2.22 at Walmart. Normally I don't buy any meats at Walmart, but if something's on sale, well, then I will go ahead and buy it, especially something like breakfast sausage. Now, purists will tell you that there's all sorts of junk in these commercial meats, and there is, but it didn't kill me while I was out on the road trucking, so I don't expect it will kill me now. They actually are quite tasty. As I mentioned, you get 14 of them in one package, so that gives you exactly 2 for each day. And what I'm going to try to do here, although I might have to cheat it a little bit, is use the fat that's coming off of the back in the dish, please. That's coming off these sausages as a lubricant for cooking the eggs. The only problem being that the fat is burning off pretty rapidly because I have it on a pretty high heat. I like the outside of the sausage to be nice and crispy. And so, since I haven't rendered up any fat yet, I'm planning on doing that when I cook up some of my ground beef and hot dinner sausage. But I'm probably going to have to cheat this and use a little bit of butter to lubricate for the eggs when they come after it. Now these things are just about done. You notice I keep rolling them around. That's to keep them even and to get that nice crispy exterior on the whole sausage. Alright, and I think they look pretty done to me. Alright, so take them off and to serve them for having with the eggs. And one thing I'm going to do here is take the pan off of there for a little bit, let it cool down because it's way too hot right now to fry up my eggs. They'll just sizzle really huge if I put the eggs on now. Alright, get out some eggs. I'm using Eggsland's best cage-free eggs for this particular adventure. Now, when I first started cooking my eggs as a kid, I learned to flip them the old-fashioned way with a spatula, and even that took a little bit of practice over time to get it right and not break the eggs every time I flipped them over. And it's probably the best way, well, no, not quite the best way, because as you'll see in a future video, I have something even cooler to make fried eggs. But if you're just using traditional cookware, then you want to start simple, start easy. Don't try to flip both eggs at the same time. Lots of butter. Because you see how the butter is sizzling, the eggs will cook very rapidly on that. Also, when you drop in your eggs, you're going to want to separate them. Don't put them right next to each other, because then you'll just have to divide them. You don't want to cook them together next to each other unless you have a really big spatula, and then it's still a little bit harder to flip them than when you flip them one at a time. So for the novice egg flipper, separate your eggs at the beginning. And we probably should get a look at those eggs. They're looking just yummy, right? Mmm. Give them about another 10-20 seconds on this side, and then flip them over. Alright, now let's see if we can get under them. For a good flip. Yeah. Okay, now this is the problem with doing it this way. I never liked this method much. And these thick plastic spatulas, they just don't cut the mustard. Need a nice thin metal one, which I don't think I have right now, or at least I don't know where it is. And let's see if we can do a better job with this one. Oh, did better. And there we go. So that's not too bad. At least I did not break the yolks, which I really can't stand it when I break the yolks, because the yolk, cooked just right, thickens up and makes a nice sauce for your eggs. And that is the ideal taste, the ideal texture. So in order to get that thickness, we give them about another minute or two on the skillet. Then we'll load them on the plate, and we'll have good old-fashioned sausage and eggs. And in terms of total cost of this breakfast, well, these eggs are the relatively expensive ones, so I think it was $3.60 or so for the dozen. So that is 60 cents for the 2 eggs, and then $2.22 for the sausages. That's how much? 7 into $2.22. 30 cents, maybe 35 cents for the sausages. So total cost for this meal is slightly under $1 out of my $5 per day budget. Also, normally I would be adding some hash browns to this, but I haven't got to the hash browns aspect or hash brown part of the show yet. That's going to come next. So we will just have this one all protein, sausage and eggs in the morning. Let's see how the yolks came out. Oh, look at that. Is that nice or what? Beautiful sauce for your eggs. Have a look. And I shall go about enjoying that right now. Later, folks.